Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Happy 4th of July, my fellow Americans. Please do not allow this fantastic experiment die or being diluted, turned into garbage. Fight to preserve the maximum of this experiment, the revolution, and obviously the Constitution. In this video, I will talk about a little bit about the United States of America, what it represents to me, a little summary, and a few points, and then I will talk about who is going to replace Joe Biden. They're already talking not when, but how, or if. No, how they will do it. They will do it, but they don't know yet how. And I'm going to show you about 9 articles where we have contenders and the mass media creating a mirage, bringing, it's like an advertising for this person and this person and that person. And I will show you in a few articles who those people are, what they did, who they are, and again, what they said. So, first, United States of America. When, obviously, I came to the United States of America because I wanted to. So I did not become an American because I came from my mom's V. And then I say, I'm an American, I want to do anything, I'm better than anyone else. I did something to become an American, and I'm proud of that. Sincerely and directly. So whenever people say, I'm gonna go back, what did you do? Tell me, show me, what do you do for this? Anyway, so I came from a communist country. In school, the communists obviously always played down, I would say always, 99.9% of the time, played down the impact of the American Revolution, the impact. They will use it only because, some people were the tyrants and the other guys had the revolution. That's it. We never been taught about what was in the Declaration of Independence, or even worse, what was in the US Constitution. I think the US Constitution is one of the greatest documents ever written. Hold your horses. I'm not playing stupid nationalism or patriotism here. No, when I was a child, I didn't have access to that, and I got indoctrinated with the idea that the US Constitution is just a thing, or and the Declaration of Independence is just a thing. And then when I grew a little bit and I got my hands on, or my claws on them, I read them. And since then, I have this assessment of it. It's one of the most important human, not American only, human document in the, like Magna Carta and so on. Fantastic revolutionary thought for us to become independent. Do not depend on that. Nobody tells you what to do, and so on. Freedom, liberty. Well, let me go over the history of the United States of America. Just a few achievements. Obviously, the Constitution was not perfect, but they remediated that. They allowed women to vote and abolished slavery with the sacrifice of about 600,000 whiteys. That's laudable. That's fantastic. That's great. Now remember, slavery was an omnipresent issue, bad issue, all over the world. Not specifically here, all over the world. Who abolished that? The English, the British nation. Thank you very much for that. And after that, little by little, everybody followed suit. Why? Because the British Empire were so big, and then it did it in various areas on this planet. But I consider myself, we had our enemies, of course, and one of our perpetual enemy, I would say, was the international banking system. That's why my favorite US president is Andrew Jackson. Why? He killed the bank. Nevertheless, after he died, these guys did hanky-panky, they brought it back and so on. That's international banking system. Since then. Nevertheless, they eventually succeeded in 1913 after the Jekyll Island meeting. They voted the Federal Reserve Act, and I think it was on the 25th or 24th of December when people mostly were elected officials were at home eating turkey and whatever they were doing best, drinking like pigs. Nevertheless, that passed, and since then we were caught by the balls. Remember the Depression? Remember, there are some who said that that was actually activated by a guy called, who also has a bank still in place right now. Nevertheless, First World War intervened, Second World War intervened on the side of the... All right, so here we have, after the Second World War, obviously, instead of having one guy, we had two guys. Instead of having a bad dude like Adolf, now we had a bad dude like Stalin and a good dude like the other side, who allowed the bad dude to exist, which makes you as good as the bad good, or the bad good, or the good baba, all right, as a bad guy. So that's it. Lately, and that is since 1965 to be more precise, and it is the new immigration law that, if you remember the guys who did that, there were two individuals. Go and check them out, and please look at one of those guys' bio, and you're gonna find out who really is. I'm not talking about that guy who was the other one, but the guy who, you're gonna find him. Just look at his bio. As I always look at early life, you find a lot of things in that. So then it started garbage with discrimination, and this, discrimination will be. Now it seems like we have a kind of, how they call it, reverse discrimination, which I don't like calling that way because it's discrimination. You know, if you're discriminated regardless of your race or your, I'm talking about in employment and rights and so on. I discriminate all the time against, when I'm about to pick my women, or let's put it this way, or when I'm about to pick my underwear, or things like this. I always discriminate between these guys or among those guys, or I pick the one that I like. I discriminate against all the fatties, all the uglies, and all the stupids, all right? Oh, wait. I have to... Anyway, so let's go back to this. Lately, now we have diversity, inclusion, and equity. And diversity is our strength. All of a sudden, make-believe becomes reality. Don't allow that. If I identify, that means I am in only one department, nowhere else. Fight that back. Now, let's go to America. Americans fight. And I'm not talking about violently. They will, is that how I say, cast the first stone? They will do that. But they are pussies, so they will lose. I guarantee you that. Why? Because we are stronger. Not only physically, mentally, and as character. All right, let's go to the garbage that we have right now, which is the elections. The democratic system, I think, in the United States of America was hijacked. It was kind of hijacked before, but nowadays it's clear who's who, what's what. Media, big business, entertainment industry, and then you got money. You got two options, garbage options most of the time. I wouldn't have elected any or neither of the guys that showed up at being the ones that represented the Democrats and the Republicans. Never. Maybe I have a few, 2 or 3 that I would have voted for, and one of them definitely would have been Rand Paul and his father Ron Paul. Those were real guys. The other ones were weasels. Now, let's go back to what's going on over here. Can you imagine that only supposedly after the first debate between Trump and Biden, some Americans saw that Biden is not there? Now, that is poor judgment, poor observation and analysis skills. If you only then saw Biden that he is not there, and based on that, they will say, we will change you because you have no chance. People will not vote for you from our party. I don't think that is coincidence. I think it was planned. I don't believe that Democrats didn't see that Biden is shaking hands with the air, mumbling, confusing his wife with his sister or something like that, diving like a goalkeeper in soccer all the time, like no other, having problems climbing up the stairs and so on. If you had problems noticing that he is not there completely, that means probably you should not vote, because your lack of abilities, I have to make sure I get this on, lack of abilities to assess a situation, you're going to get us in trouble. You're going to get us in trouble. Now, I'm going to start with Van Jones. Van Jones is that educated black, very, very sophisticated in his verbal statements, obviously. And he says that the Democrats are discussing how to replace Biden, not whether, not if. So this comes from the Hill. This guy is just telling us something that I think it's not secret, but nevertheless, this is the level. This is the level. Remember what happened with DNC, with that Scholz. By the way, Scholz is a Zelensky Stein, remember? And with Brazil, whatever her first name is, giving to Hillary Clinton some information, not that she needed, but nevertheless, corruption, all sides. Don't get me wrong, it's just a matter of level, intensity. All right, that's the first article. Next article. As Biden team suggests there can be no alternative, DNC rules provide a path if Biden were to step aside. They are preparing the baboons to understand that it shouldn't be like this. The only thing is, if Biden just goes away, well, the problem with Biden going away is the people around him. They don't want to go away. They have to make a deal. The people around him, the guys who really, I would say, are in charge, all right, to a certain extent, those advisors and the guys that are the departments, they want to make sure that if they agree Biden to go away, they keep their job to a certain extent, or they move laterally. They don't go down. That's the whole deal right now. So Biden's administration and the Biden camp is trying to make a deal with the other ones in this way. Yeah, the old man is gone, but we must stay somehow in some departments. Otherwise, we're gonna keep this guy as long as we can. And there will be a staunch, strong fight between the pussies. Next article. This comes from NBC News. Let me see here. Yeah, NBC News. As Biden team suggests there can be no alternative, DNC rules provide a path. It's the same thing, but I picked it from two because initially it came from NBC, not from the other one that I cited first. Next article. And now they start telling the baboons that actually Biden is not popular after the garbage so-called debate moderated by CNN with two Zelensky Steins as moderators. You can make shit up. There were no Romanians moderators or no Hungarian moderators or I know Hispanic moderators or something, but there were these guys. But it's okay, right? It's okay. Now, they tried to shape the opinion in such a way that they will tell the baboons, hey, you are on the losing side. You got to do something, which is send Biden to grass or put Biden to grass, as I heard this expression at Nigel Farage when in the European Parliament he told this to Mr. Rumpoy, if you remember that fantastic speech. Nigel Farage, one of my favorites, a current politician, and he got balls, and I like him a lot. Remember when he said, the sooner you're put to grass, the better, Mr. Rumpoy? Watch that one. I said, who are you? Who voted for you? I don't know you. Watch that video on YouTube. So, The Hill. Almost 70% of progressive voters, for me progressive is communist, think Biden should suspend campaign poll. So 70% of progressive voters, they say liberals, progress towards what exactly? More pink hair or what? More genders? What are they progressing towards? More laws? More limitations for our liberties? More, how they call it? I remember. I'm old. What do you want? Happens. It's a word that I always forget when you have a company and you go and you put some rules on it. It's called, I think it starts with an M. But all right, next one. From Yahoo News, it's a YouGov poll. 60% of Americans say Biden is not fit for another term as president after disastrous debate. Yet 2024 contest with Trump remains too close to call. I don't believe that. You know why it is too close to call? Because that's when you make the best deals. Because right now, if let's say it will be 80-20, the guys in 20 will be like, I'm not going to participate. But when you are 49-51, now you make the deal. Do you think that the American society is really 49-51? I don't think so. I don't think so. Why? We don't think A and B or plus and minus in this kind of terms. And what message these two polls have, the Democrats and the Republicans? Almost the same. Almost the same. So here you have only 60%, and the other ones were 70% of the progressives. So these guys were lost in space for not 3 years, for 6 years, because you could see Biden when he was in his campaign, he was gone. With Trump, the first time, you didn't see them? Well, teenagers see that. That tells me your brain is plop, plop, plop. Move on. Now we have this one from Fox News. What do you think will happen if, let's say, not the right people get nominated and they get the nomination for the Democratic Party? Well, they will be civilized and they will say, you know what, that was the will of the, they voted, the delegates and so on. Therefore, we accept this. No, it's not like that, because we have a group of people here that are very upset and they will do bad stuff if not the right person, according to them, is nominated. Let me tell you who that is. Fox News, California delegate one says black women will, and I'm quoting this, blow the party up, end quote, if Democrats pick a, and I'm quoting, white man over Kamala Harris, end quote. So why not a Latino man? Why not a midget man? Why not a acromegalic man? Why not? Why should it be that way? Why not, some Chinese, Asian, Indian? Oh, she's half Indian, so pass her. But she's not the representative of the Indian nation, because the Indians are smart. Kamala, maybe she does a lot of things with her right hand and with her. Anyway, so here you have, they will, I'm quoting, blow the party up, end quote, if Democrats pick, and I'm quoting, a white man. So as a white person, unless you have the white guilt, you should still stay in the Democratic Party, because you are flagellating yourself for something you've never done. But hey, what do you want? Do whatever you want. That's the beauty of America. But blow the party up? What do you mean? What are you going to use? All right, next one. Napalm. Next one. USA Today. And now here we have the first contender. They created just the first, hey, how about this person? And then how about this person? It's about two people, and both of them are women and both of them are black. Personally, I don't care who they are as long as they are fit and they're smart and they love the country. Neither of these ones qualify. First one is, and I'm going to read USA Today's title of the article, as calls grow for Biden to drop out, new poll shows Michelle Obama would beat Trump. There you go. Let's have her, Biden, go, right? That's what is the logical, next move. So Michelle Obama will beat Trump. So why not have her? Well, Michelle Obama, I don't know if she's stupid. She's smarter than Kamala Harris. But I think, that's my personal assessment, has a lot of hatred towards a group in particular, and I think everybody else in general. Why? I will show you. Now, next article from Newsweek, and this is from March 12, 2008. Right? Michelle Obama's proud remarks. So I don't know how old she is right now, maybe 60 or something. So in 2008, we were about what, 50 something or 48, something like that, right? I think. So by that time, you should have had in your life some experiences where you were proud of this fantastic, best country in the world. Why? Name me a better one. Name me a better one. And if you like that more, well, let's change it into that and tell me what's better. Let's say, I don't know, what country that might be. Because she's not going to name a European country, I fucking guarantee you that. So what is she going to name? We should strive to improve things, but we should be proud of the best we have. One mistake that these guys are making is they compare United States of America with the absolute, with the ideal. That's not how you do it. We all fail. We all pale in comparison or in competition with the absolute, with the unicorn, with the perfect. You compare it with everybody else, you look at the absolute, you try to strive, even though you know you will never achieve that, you strive for it, and you go around and see where are you located, situated with everybody else. We have 193 countries on this planet at United Nations. Do you think the United States is what, the 193rd in a poll, on the top, or what? I think it's either the first or the first. One of the two, the first or the first. But that's my assessment, because sometimes things are based obviously on subjective preferences. I like freedom. I don't like to be told by the government what to do. I like to own guns, for instance. So there you have it. For me, this is the greatest country. For a pussy who wants mommy and daddy to protect her or him and stay in the basement, take naps, and wear a mask after vaccinated 50 fucking times, obviously she loves the other side. So she will never love my version of what I love about America and much more. Remember, freedom of speech, and nobody tells me what to do as long as I don't harm anybody. I don't harm, not potentially. With potential, someone is driving over 30 miles per hour, potentially can kill someone. So let's ban all the cars. So here we have, this is what she said. Before the Wisconsin primary in mid-February, Michelle Obama made a remark that Republicans will use to hammer her husband should he win the Democratic nomination. This is just to make it nicer what she said. And this is what she said. I'm quoting someone who wants to be the president. For the first time in my adult life, I'm really proud of my country because it feels like hope is finally making a comeback. So the first time she was happy. Well, we all make mistakes and we all work in remediating mistakes. Maybe she doesn't feel the same way, but if at 40-some she felt that way for the first time in her life, how much hatred was gathered in her soul. I wonder. Sometimes we have, some enlightenments and say, hey, maybe I was wrong. I was wrong many times in my life. And I admit, I made a mistake here, I made a mistake here, I made a mistake there. But give me some solutions. Help me. And if I see that's better, I will grab it. I'm going to use it, because who's going to take advantage of that? Me in the first place. So thank you very much. Now, this is the person who will beat Trump. Next article. From Reuters, Vice President Harris, top choice to replace Biden if he steps aside, sources say. So she's ready. All right, well, kneel, use your right hand, and move your head back and forth. Remember, what's his name? What the hell was his name? Prosecutor, was he in the state of California? I can't remember. What a black guy. He said that her career started between his. Remember? But hey, but that's two adults. That's their business. But nevertheless, move on. Poll: Harris stronger than Biden with women and independents. There you have it. And this poll comes from CNN. Harris stronger than Biden with women and independents. Kamala Harris will go away in 1 second if Michelle Obama tells her, back the off. She's going to disappear. I guarantee you that. She will try to get some job somewhere. I don't know, maybe Minister of or Secretary of Defense or something, or education or sports and whatever. But no, Obama will destroy. Obama holds a lot of power, which that's their business, as long as that power is used for good and benefits United States of America and the American people in general. Don't create fights between groups, and it seems like he's not a uniter. And now here is the last article that I'm going to discuss here. Comes from the Telegraph, and this is Who is Kamala Harris? And this is the title. Kamala Harris worried Democrats will replace Joe Biden with white candidate. Enough said. Enough said. Remember, it's not like a turning thing. Well, today is a Chinese, tomorrow must be a white guy, next day must be a black woman, next day is going to be a Jewish guy, next day is going to be a midget. It's not like a rotation. It's based on abilities. So if, let's say, you have 50 black women being the best, they should lead. All for that. But starting with that, just because someone belongs to a group should not, because it's my turn. You have to earn it. And I think Kamala Harris did not earn squat. In a real society, United States of America, unfortunately, is a, that's why I'm saying, fight to preserve what we had at best. Remember, we started here, we went here, and now we're going down. Bring it back there. And adjust and work towards that ideal. To work towards that ideal. She should not have been a dog catcher in a Montana village, Kamala Harris. That's my assessment based on her statements, lack of knowledge, and body language. All right, that's my assessment as a free person. Free person. As you can analyze me and you can criticize me, I can criticize whomever I want, but bring evidence all the time. So, nevertheless, she was the Attorney General, prosecutor, whatever she was in California, should not have been there. Remember Tulsi Gabbard when she was at the Democratic convention, Democratic debates last time, how she got to task, how she took Kamala Harris to task, and then she was like, like a, what's his name, the turkey. You know, she couldn't say shit. Watch that video with Tulsi, who took Kamala Harris and told her exact things about certain things. You go and watch it. So, my friends, America the beautiful, keep it that way. But it's a war. It's a war, my friends. Perseverance, and you have to be always on the lookout. You can't leave your guard down, because there's always going to be some weasels who want to snatch a fantastic ripe fruit. And this is what United States of America was at one point, still is, but we can't let that sour and rotten, because some people don't get it. They don't understand. They don't understand these guys, like they did not understand Biden's situation. They don't understand that their policies will destroy this country. This beautiful fruit, they will rot and they will destroy it. And after they destroy it, they will point out to someone else as narcissistic individuals that they are. They will not ascribe responsibility to their actions. They will not say, yes, my bad, I'm out, sorry, what can I do to help? Tell me. I will be working towards creating the beautiful fruit. But I can't let that get to that point, because the United States of America is a big country. A lot of things could happen. Big nation, a lot of groups in there. I suspect that this country eventually will end up like that. Why? Because some people really want that. I don't want that, but get ready. The problem is the pussies are pushing towards that. And they don't understand that once it gets to that situation, I'm like Louis Armstrong, what a wonderful world. All right? So once it gets to that point, they are the losers. They don't understand that. And these kind of allies, they don't understand they will be taken care of in a bad way. The last that always happened in revolutions. The people who cooperated, the traitors, were last. So I'm an ally of that. Yeah, if that will get in power and you help against that, these guys will take care of that, and then eventually you're the last one. They will say, but by the way, you're one of those guys that we fought against. So bring it on. An example, 1806, Haiti. I think 1806 it was the cleansing of the French by a certain kind of group. Well, think about it. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Happy 4th of July, my fellow Americans. Get back into the arena. That's where you need to be, in the arena, not outside drinking and yeah, blah, blah. No, in the arena. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.